Hello, everyone. My name is Lorena Garcia Wahibi, and I'd like to welcome you to Primary Wave Industry Hour, a series that will highlight changemakers in the music industry, where we deep dive into who they are, how they are making a difference, and how we can get involved. 2020 was a tough year on many fronts. It was a time that allowed reflection and forced change. We at Primary Wave Music want to be agents of change and are committed to creating and supporting racial equality through education, inclusivity, and action, amplifying the power of music and our platform to fight for social justice. We have a powerful lineup joining us for a discussion on the importance of access and opportunity within the music industry today. Director of Marketing and Partnerships at the Music Forward Foundation, Naz Fatemian, will speak with rising senior at California State University, Northridge, and president of American Marketing Association at CSUN, Mariam Boyadjian, as well as John Aqua, a psychedelic rock and soul artist, a part of Music Forward Artist Development Pathway. Up first, Naz will be giving us a background on Music Forward, their history to where they are today. Afterwards, Naz will interview Mariam and John Aqua for a deeper look into their experiences. Thank you for joining us today, and be sure to follow along at Primary Wave for future sessions. Now it's my pleasure to introduce and pass the floor to Ms. Naz Fatemian.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Music Forward Foundation is a national nonprofit organization inside the Live Nation family that connects young people to the music industry. Our mission is to transform young lives, inspire careers, and champion a more inclusive music industry. Our organization was established in 1993, so we have been transforming young lives through music for 28 years. We were originally established inside the House of Blues as a charitable arm that could bring the arts to schools and communities through programs that promoted cultural understanding, showcased the significant impact of the African American experience on American music, culture, and art, and manifested their core belief of unity in diversity. Over our 28-year history, we have impacted over 1 million young lives and invested over $28 million into increasing access and opportunity for youth. Today, our organization is focused on breaking the barriers of gender, poverty, and race to enter the music industry. We bridge our communities to the music industry and set the stage for success to redefine what is possible for the youth and industry we serve. And we do have a little organizational video that we'd like to share with you.
Hello, hello. Oh,
hello.
Everybody's path is different. I think that's the biggest thing for everybody trying to figure out where to go, how to get there. It's just identify what your specific path is and just know where you are in your journey.
What is a mistake you made that easily could have been avoided? What did you learn from that moment that you take with you every day?
That's a big question.
I think that we're naturally better when we do things that we're passionate about. And if music makes you happy, it's okay if you don't know what exactly you want to do in music. There's literally something for everyone.
Music Forward is doing its part to address representation discrepancies in the music industry and also doing its part to keep youth connected, increasing their skills and boosting their confidence to pursue a better future. You can see from our 2020 impact stats that 68% of Music Forward participants identified as youth of color across a broad range of ethnic demographics. And young women represented 68% of our participants, with 3% non-binary and 29% male representation. Not on the slide, but worth mentioning, is that over 300 music industry professionals volunteered their time, knowledge, and mentorship with our young people, and our programs are made possible through our volunteers and supporters. Our programs provide information, tools, access, and opportunity to high school and college-aged young people to define pathways to success in the music industry. We offer free community-based programs in an artist development pathway for young people pursuing a career on the stage, and a career development pathway for those young people passionate about music and looking for a career off the stage on the music business side. Both pathways are designed to empower the next generation of artists, leaders, and innovators. I'd like to introduce two young people very special to me from our Music Forward family to share their stories and their journey in the music industry. Mariam Boyadjian from our Career Development Pathway and John Aqua from our Artist Development Pathway. Welcome, Mariam and John.
Hello, hello.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
Today.
Hey, good. Thanks for joining me. It's good to see you guys.
Likewise.
It's been too long. All right, so we're going to dig in a little bit and talk about your history with Music Forward, our histories together, your journey in music, and the future and how bright it's looking for you guys. Let's start with John. John, tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, where you live, and what you're pursuing in the music industry.
Well, so I am John Aqua. I am 20 years old at the current moment. I'm from Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff. And yeah, I'm trying to become, trying to pursue music. And your question was what I want to pursue.
Yeah, what you're pursuing in the music industry.
Yeah, just singer-songwriter, writing songs, production, things of that nature.
She's too damn fast, yeah. I'm about to lose control, crash, yeah. Why can't I catch her? Shawty got me running.
Gotcha. And what? Tell us a little bit more about your genre. I caught it in the intro.
Yes. Alternative psychedelic rock and soul. It's a very, it's very wordy genre that I had to create simply because, a thing that I want to do with my music is to be very versatile. I don't want to really be pinned down to a genre. And one thing my, supporters can count on is that, every song is going to be different. You're never going to get the same thing twice. It's going to be forever evolving, forever excelling, excellent. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to embody excellence. And yeah, I mean, so that's kind of, it's an attempt to try to, label what the type of music I do, but yeah, it
really can't be labeled. Yeah, it really can't be labeled. I know. I'm a big fan. So whatever you're doing, it's working. Yeah, keep going with it. And Mariam, tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, where you're based, and what you are pursuing in the music industry.
Sure. So hello, everyone. My name is Mariam Boyadjian, and I am 21 years old. I'm currently living in Los Angeles, California. A little bit about what I'm pursuing. So I'm very into live events, like events in general. I love planning things out and seeing it from like beginning to end. So I'm definitely looking at going into something within live events in the music industry. I've always had a passion for music, and I just feel like I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, but then I was like, I really like events. I really like music. Why not make it one? So that's kind of like where I stand as of right now. I'm looking at like pursuing like more roles to see exactly like what areas like of events I want to go into in music. But yeah, it's kind of just like where I'm at right now.
I love it. There's nothing like the magic of live entertainment, right? Live music. It's thrilling. So it's a great place to be on, whether you're on the stage or off the stage. There's nothing like it. I love it. So I'd like to know, Mariam, how did you first connect with Music Forward? What was your entry point into our programs? How did you find out about us? And what was your first experience?
Awesome. So I first met Music Forward through a conference that I attended. You guys were actually tabling there. At the time, I didn't know what Music Forward was, but I knew what Hassle Blues was. So Hassle Blues Music Forward, it really just like brought me in. I was like, oh, I'm interested to find out more. I met DeMarco and Daniel there at the time, and Elise, she was really awesome. And you guys kind of like told me more about the program, and I was like, I'm really interested. So then I applied for the internship, and then I started working with you, Naz and Molly, and it was just an awesome experience from then on out. Like I learned a lot about different types of ways of kind of going into marketing. So I primarily worked on like digital marketing, so and social media. So I did like some content creation. I wrote copy for the Instagram. Like we worked on expanding like the social media followers. I also worked on like creating like blogs. Sometimes I went to events. The events part was actually again my most favorite part. I'm like a social butterfly, so I love interacting with people. But yeah, from conference to internship, and then I had some opportunities that followed afterwards with Music Forward. Like I was a brand ambassador as well. So it's been a long ride, but I've definitely enjoyed every second of it for sure.
That's amazing. Thank you. And John, I think your experience starts a little earlier than Mariam's. You didn't come in straight at internship age. Tell us about your first connection with Music Forward.
So my first connection with Music Forward was actually through another band, and it was like 8th grade. Yeah, like 8th grade, middle school. Yeah, I was with this group called Baby Fast Crew at the time. I was just their guitarist, and they had somehow, I guess, found out about the the program, and yeah, I came in through that, and I was like, whoa. So yeah, that was my first time.
And then where did it take you from there? Because I know you've participated along the way.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, but yeah. So after that, I mean, I loved the program. You know, my mom loved the program. You know, we thought it was just a really good opportunity. And so, you know, soon I disbanded from that band. I left that band, and I started another band. And I was like, you know what? I think that this program would be really beneficial and really helpful, you know, for all the guys here. And my parents agreed to. So, you know, we asked all the dudes. We're like, hey, let's go, you know, do this thing. And they came with me, and through that I think that's when I really started to meet, you know, other people that would stand my life. Yeah, like just even like the other band members are still people I talk to today. You know, like other people in the programs, I'm saying, like other participants are still people I talk to today. Like, you know, Boydajian, Troy Knowles, you know, people like that. Yeah,
the other young artists that were in that Bringing Down the House program, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Love it.
And then from there, you guys just, you know, helped me get other connections and other, you know, performance opportunities and things like that.
Yeah, it's so great. I'm glad that both of you guys have had such a pleasant experience navigating the industry through Music Forward programs. I want to know why music, all right? It's a easy question. It's a little bit of an objective question, but why music? And did you always know that you wanted to work in music? Mariam, why don't you tell us why music?
Sure. As cliche as this might sound, from a young age, I have always had a passion for music. I do come from like a musically inclined family. So my dad and his brothers, they were in a band like back in their home country. And then when they came here, they continued until this day. They play at like weddings, like birthdays. So it's more like that type of band. But like anytime we had any family gatherings or anything like that, like we always have our guitars, violins, piano, everything's out. It's always a party. But yeah, and then when I was in elementary school, funny story, when I was in elementary school, we were on a field trip, and out of nowhere my teacher was like, oh, let's do a talent show. And at the time, like obviously like I sang, but I didn't think anything of it. So that's when I started doing like we did the talent show, and people did like standing ovation. I got like a standing ovation. People started crying. I was like,
nice.
Like that bad. No, but like that's kind of like where it stemmed from. I was like, okay, like it was initially I wanted to do singing, but then I realized like I want to do more like the business side of it. So that's kind of like where it started off. And then like music has always been kind of like I don't want to say therapy, but kind of like a therapy. Like anytime I felt like anything in my life was missing, like music is the place I go. It's like it just helps me calm down. Or like if I can't say the words, I sing the words. Like music, I don't know how to explain it. Like music is just different. I love it.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, right? But we all feel it. And I think the three of us definitely share that sentiment. And John, especially as an artist, I'm sure it's a really strong feeling to pursue it as a performer. So why music for you, John? Did you always know?
Oh man, so it's crazy. I didn't always know, but like as a kid, it was really weird. When I was like 5 years old, I remember, my parents would tell me at least that I like begged them to give me a guitar. Right, I begged them to give me a guitar, and I was just a very active kid, like as a child. Like they had me in sports and stuff, but like just very energetic, like always doing something. And yeah, I guess I begged them for a guitar, and so they got me a first act. And my mom was like, you know what? Since I bought you this guitar, you're gonna stay in these lessons. You know what I'm saying? So like, she just kept me in lessons, like throughout from 5 years old onward, and like regardless of whether or not I was into it, because like once I hit 6 or 7, I was like, all right, this is tired. I was like,
yeah, on to the next toy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and funny that I say that because the next thing was acting for me. I wanted to be an actor for the longest. That's what got. I went to a performing arts high school. Went to Booker T, Washington, down here in Dallas, and we get to study. You get to study 1 out of 4 things. You get to study either dance, art, like visual arts, music, or acting, or theater. And I was there for theater. So throughout high school, I really wanted to do, I thought I wanted to do theater. But at the same time, I had this skill, I had this guitar skill, you know what I'm saying? And when I was a kid, when I first got the guitar, I was like writing songs even as a child, like I don't know what I was talking about back then, but stuff a 5-year-old would talk about, I assume. And I was singing back then, but once I got to elementary school and like higher up in grade, I stopped singing and was just playing guitar, right? I guess I was too cool. But I would play guitar behind other singers and whatnot. So while I'm doing acting and wanting to be an actor, I'm like still playing behind other, neighbors and stuff, or like, my mom was has been a librarian like for as long as I can remember. So, at different schools, there'd be other kids, the talent shows, and she would have me come in and, maybe play something behind, people like that. So, I just got experience that way. But then the moment that really like, and then when I got to like middle school, high schoolish area, I was starting to deal with like, actual social problems. And that would drive me to like writing music. I remember the first time that I wrote a song since, 5 years old was 7th grade or 8th grade at this camp. And I really liked this girl. And so me and my homeboys, we like wrote a song for this girl. And I remember performing it for her. And I called her and I was like, yo, like meet me in the stairwell. We'd have like a party like every Friday at the camp. I'm sorry, this is a really lengthy answer.
No, go ahead. I want to know if it worked. Like, I'm dying to know. Is this okay. What, like, yeah.
Okay, man. Yeah, so like we would have these parties at the camp because it was a STEM prep. It was a STEM prep program, right? Science, technology, engineering, math. I want, that was just one of the other avenues that I was taking. Like I could be an engineer, right? 7th, 8th grade, your parents are like, okay, we're gonna, put dibble dabble and everything. Anyway, so yeah, so we'd have parties every Friday at the camp, after a week of doing college, material work or whatever. And I hit her up and I was like, yo, meet me in the stairwell. She was like, okay. And so she met me in the stairwell, by God's grace. And I performed the song for her. And I guess in my head, I was expecting her to be like, oh my gosh, like, you're amazing. Like, marry me. But what really happened was she hugged me. And then she was like, send me that song. And then like this. And
she's
so
like, cool.
You know what I'm saying? So although I didn't get her, she liked the song. So I was like, okay, that works.
There's something there.
It's something there. So I continued like writing and stuff, and music did turn into something that, just like Mariam said, it turned into therapy. Whenever I had a problem and I didn't really have anybody else to talk to, I would definitely write a song about it. And that just started to happen more and more and more, right? So now we're like junior year of high school. still acting really hard, been in multiple productions, you know what I'm saying? I got, 2 agents, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going hard. And I get in this musical, and there's this moment where, like, we have blocking on stage. So we're, say I'm supposed to take a right on stage and walk straight. You know what I'm saying? I think I accidentally might have taken a left or something. And I almost, ran into the main character of the show. And, you know what I'm saying? This is a big production. This is at Dallas Theater Center, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it was like neighborhood. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It's professional. These cats, matter of fact, we were doing Hairspray, and these were the cats from Broadway. Like, these were, like, those guys. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, I almost ran into her, and then she stopped. Like, there was a moment, she's just like, "What are you doing here?"
Ooh.
And like, it took me back. I was like, whoa. I was like, what am I doing here? And I think I just determined, I chose music because I decided if I was gonna struggle for something, if I was gonna starve for something, I think I'd rather starve being honest. I think I'd rather starve being myself, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to starving playing someone else or carrying out someone else's dream. I think I would rather, you know what I'm saying, struggle for my own dream. So yeah, that, and then on top of that, therapy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I got it. So I mean, from that story, a lot of the acting skills, the skill set that goes along with acting is certainly transferable to being a performer, right? Being a musician. So, I think as much as music is therapy and music is feeling, and that's why we're so drawn to the industry, there's also this entire skill set that's necessary to be successful in the music industry. So I want to talk about skills for a little bit. Mariam, on the business side of the music industry, what skills do you feel like you've acquired or become stronger in as a result of being in music forward programming?
Sure. So one thing I did struggle with in the beginning, I kind of towards like the end of the internship, I could say like got the hang of it a bit more. But like I said, I was working on social media. So social media planning is definitely a big thing. Like it's a big task.
It's not just a thing, right? It's an actual skill set for sure.
Like okay, time management is one thing, because besides like putting together like the calendar, you need to make sure you actually hold yourself accountable in that regard, because you have to make sure you're actually creating the content. If you were doing the content creation yourself, which I was, along with Molly. So that was definitely something that I had to really work on a bit. And then I had never written blogs before, so that was a new thing for me. In high school, I had done like interviews and whatnot, but I ended up always just giving that interview to someone else to end up writing the stories. But and I had just done like the photography for it. But like with Music Forward, I was now doing the writing, I was doing the recording, I was doing like being on set, and not on set, but like during an event, being there and actually capturing content. So it was like a whole social media experience for me. But also I can say that Music Forward kind of helped me interact better with like music professionals, because while I had done like networking through like AMA, the American Marketing Association, within music specifically, I don't know, I feel like there's a different language. I don't know how to explain it, but like there's a different language with music. So it kind of taught me how to speak with people in a specific way, in a way that they understand it. So it just taught me how to be on their level a little bit. So yeah, definitely social media, networking. I can say those are probably the two big things that I learned.
That's great. Yes, and as you were talking about social media skills, it's really content development skills, right? It's writing skills, it's communication skills, it's the scheduling and the management, like you mentioned. So there's a lot of skills that go inside of social media, and it's super creative too, right? You have to have that marketing lens on it and think about what people would like and what would resonate with your audiences. John is an artist. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, there was actually one more thing I wanted to add. Like within this role, I learned how to do research a little bit better. Definitely like within like social media, sometimes like you need to, in marketing, you need to be able to stay like with the trends. So learning how to do research was a big thing for me. And I realized that sometimes research takes a very long time. So I'd find myself sometimes like doing research the entire day, or not entire day, but at least like quite a few hours of the day.
Yeah.
I have other stuff to do, but this is an important step that I need.
Yeah, it's how you get the content, right? And it's how you get informed content, and it's how you get accurate content is by doing a lot of that back end work that goes into it. And people, all they're seeing is a social media post, right? But little do they know the research, the editing, the sizing the picture, the color correction, right? All the stuff that's going into the one little social media post. So definitely a lot of skills.
And I learned iMovie too on the internship. That was a big
Oh,
thing.
you did? Wow. I still haven't learned that as director of marketing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I remember I made maybe 2 posts for one of the All Access Fest, the event that we were hosting. I remember doing that. So I learned that a little bit, but yeah.
Nice. A lot of skills. John, do you have all of those same skills? Are they the same? Are they different as an artist? Like what
Absolutely
skills?
same skills, exact same skills.
Yeah, right? Like there's a lot of crossover there for sure. On the artist side of things.
I don't have any of those skills. I'm
what?
completely
Come on.
Maybe the research.
The networking.
Oh, okay, yeah, networking.
Yeah.
It's different type of people you're not
connecting with music industry professionals, right? John, talk to us about some of the skills you feel like you've learned, whether they're the same or different with music.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'd say, just about there's a lot of crossover there. I'd say just, it would be a piggyback off of, Mariam's just performance I'd say the other would be the other skill, performance, whether that be on stage, whether that be at home, whether that be in the booth, like, you know what I'm saying? Because there are different types of performances, you know what I'm saying? Because when you got an audience, that's a whole different energy. When you don't have an audience, it's a different energy. And then when you're in there, like, with the dude, who you're paying, 30, 60, sometimes 100 an hour, you know what I'm saying? Talking about some, let's record, like, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? It's a whole completely different energy. So performance
time management comes into that, right?
Man, I'm still not good at that. I'm still terrible at that, but baby steps, day by day.
Yeah, if you're paying the engineer $100 an hour, you better start to get good at time management in the studio, right?
Absolutely. I mean, in that sense, time management's good, all right, there, you know what I'm saying? But time management goes even broader and goes even further beyond that.
It can be challenging when the time management is around creativity, right? It's difficult when you're like on a deadline to be creative.
Oh, for sure. And it's really interesting too, because with time management, you end up, I feel like the higher you get, the more experience that you have with writing songs, I feel like the more you kind of realize, the more relaxed and the more you don't focus on the time part of it, the easier, the creative flow will go. So, I mean, skills like that, definitely skills, dang, I just had one, shoot flab. Well, I'll say that's those skills. And I mean, I'd say even research, dang, because, you got to research the guitar, you got to research, your venue, who you're performing for. Yeah,
knowing it, right? As you guys are both talking, like I'm seeing so much crossover. It's like knowing your audience. Exactly, right? You're like who you're performing for, and Mariam's thinking about who she's posting for, who she's talking to in a blog, right? It's knowing your audience.
And then even I have to focus on who I'm posting for too, you know what I'm saying, for my, social media. So Great,
because you as an emerging artist, you're doing your own marketing, right? Right. So whereas Mariam might be, putting together marketing in this case for an organization during an internship, you're considering your tone, your art, your picture, your video, all the same things, but for your own self, right? As an artist, your own entity.
But I'd say one more skill would be just dealing with creativity and like learning how to channel that. I'd say is a really important skill that I've had to learn how to do. Because, you can get as many ideas as you want, but like, when it comes down to not only executing, but like choosing which one of those, million of ideas floating, which one you're going to go with and stick with and develop upon, you know what I'm saying? How are you going to structure all those ideas? That, I don't know what that goes under, but I'll just call it creativity and creative flow, maybe.
Yeah, I like what you said about channeling the creativity, right? You're going to have to make some decisions along that way.
No,
how do you feel like, how does that skill develop? Like, can you identify like what makes you better at that now?
The initial choice that pops up, I mean, the initial, thing that helps with that, is obviously like repetition, like, you know, continuing to do it, doing it over and over again. You know,
practice thing, right? Yeah.
With practice, you know, you learn, it just becomes easy, you know, learn shortcuts, or you learn, you know, whatever it may be, you know, you advance with time. I would say trying to find inspiration, and like how you go about finding inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, finding inspiration is something that definitely will help with that process. And so also is something that you have to practice to, you know what I'm saying, get better at. And there's one more.
One thing I think I can recognize, having worked with both of you over the years, is in this channeling creativity and building your skills, you're more confident in your ability to make those decisions, right? Whereas you might be a little like, I'm not so sure, right? I've been able to notice your ability to know, right, what's right for you and to make some decisions. So I think there's something there around building your confidence as a creative professional, whether it's on the stage or off the stage. The more you do it, the more confident you become, and the more you know yourself, and you kind of, it's practice, right? But I've seen both of you guys become more confident in your skills along the way. I want to circle back to one of the skills that you both mentioned, which is networking in the music industry and the importance of that. I'm curious, have you stayed connected with young people, young artists, young professionals, or even some of the mentors and volunteers during your time with Music Forward? Have you stayed connected with your Music Forward network since participating in the programs? Mariam, how about you?
I definitely have stayed connected with Music Forward staff for like 100%. I know I've reached out to you quite a few times. Like I reached out to Molly, like Daniel when he was on the team, DeMarco, like for various different things. Like for example, like DeMarco, when I needed help with like internship opportunities, like he was kind of like the person I went to for guidance. Like, how do I do this? Daniel, for example, like whenever I needed to like help with putting together programs, I was like, I know he's the person that I need to go to. For example, like I even work with Daniel to bring programs that Music Forward does onto like my campus, like for AMA, like my club that I'm the president of, like that club. Like it was actually one of the events that our team really, like our members love the most. It was a panel with like the Music Forward Foundation and Live Nation. We did a panel as well as a pitching workshop, Pitch Perfect. It's not called
that's
Pitch,
it.
what is it called?
It's called Pitch Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so it's like I definitely like stay connected with everyone, and I feel like it's really beneficial because not only has Music Forward helped me kind of grow as an individual, but it's also been an opportunity for me to kind of like let other people know about Music Forward and benefit from it themselves as well. Like for example, I know we had put together like a firm tour at Live Nation one time, and like people started getting internships after that because they network with other people. So like a big thing for me is like not only like learning and connecting and building relationships myself, but also like helping other people do that. So like Music Forward has definitely been something that I can say has not only helped me grow, but other people grow as well. And I find that like a beautiful thing. And I always talk about your organization. So definitely connected.
I appreciate you spreading the love, Mariam, right? You're just like spreading the opportunities and the love. Thank you. John, what about you? Who have you stayed connected with, whether it's inside the Music Forward family or some of the people you've met through Music Forward programs?
Man, quite a few. I feel like, you know, I still
we see each other at shows, right?
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you are definitely one of the people. Melanie, love Mel. Like, you know, it's her birthday the other day.
Yeah.
Hit her up. I don't necessarily talk to Genesis as much, but I still do talk. I've seen, you know, she hooked me up with like an artist wrangler like thing where, yeah, she allowed me to be a part of this. They had like an event at Clyde Warren where Vanilla Ice was performing. And she, you know, she helped me. She gave me the opportunity to be an artist wrangler there, and I got to meet like Lion Babe, which was really, really
That's
cool.
so cool. Oh my gosh.
Super, like,
wow, I didn't know Lion Babe was the artist that you got to wrangle. Amazing.
Yeah, straight through. Straight up. Yeah. So people like y'all, I would say other artists, like, Demoisine, Troy Knowles, pretty much all the politic, people that are, watched the, the open mics, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's great. So you stayed connected with the other young artists that you were in programs with as everybody's kind of pursued music professionally as artists.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. Well, I feel like we've talked a lot about the past and all the things that you've done with Music Forward. I would love to talk about the future and some of the cool things that you are up to in music right now. John, what are you doing in music right now? Like, where are you at?
So right now I am basically in the process. I think J. Cole described it as the off season. I've been stacking up content and, basically just practicing behind the scenes for when, everything opens up. So I'm getting ready for performances and stuff. Look, I can show y'all right now. Like, I got my setup all, look.
Show us.
Got the guitar.
Oh, look at that.
I got the,
wow, you stay ready.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I've definitely been putting in some like work behind the scenes for performances, as well as stacking up content to release this year. This is drop season. It's about to be drop season for me. Yeah, I'm about to release a debut EP in like the summer. Got some singles popping up. Got a whole bunch of collab tapes coming out. Got an album hopefully coming in the next year or two. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of just that prep season. It's that prep season.
The off season, yeah. There's a lot of J. Cole energy going around right now. Totally. I love that. And I think it's important for people to know all the work, the artistic work, the true work, what you just showed us, that goes into giving an audience an album, an EP, singles, videos. Like, there's a lot of work that's going on for months and years behind the scenes. So thank you for sharing that. And Mariam, what are you up to these days?
So within music specifically, like, again, I'm like really big on like networking. So what I've primarily been focusing on is like trying to figure out like what type of programs and like events I can go to kind of see what different roles actually existed within music. So for example, I did a program, I believe it was in fall. Yeah, in fall with the Warner Music Group, where we had a lot of professionals come in and like speak to us about like what they did and whatnot. So that was like a big thing that I had done. I really like networking.
Yeah, it's a way to get where you want to go in the music industry.
Definitely. Also just trying to figure out what I wanted to do within music. That was like a big thing for me. Also, this is not that big, but I love creating playlists. So I've been creating a lot of like music playlists, like chill vibes. There's this one playlist I've called It's a Vibe. Like I don't know, I have different
we all need them. We need you to send us the playlists. I get tired of my own playlists. So
yeah, I'm always asking people, I'm like, do you know any new songs? Or I love listening to artists that are not really well known, because I feel like there's so much raw talent that is not yet known. And there's something exciting about that to me. Like,
yeah.
I love it. But yeah,
Definitely.
I use Spotify for that specific thing. There's a specific playlist. Let me remember what it was called. It's a really good one. It's called Lorem. They have a lot of like not that well known artists, but I love it. If anyone wants to check it out, check out Lorem on Spotify.
I love it. Lorem, that's the name of the playlist. Lorem. I think I've seen it. I don't know if I'm
saying it right, but I love it.
Yeah, I think you are. I've seen that. I love the Laura. Actually, I don't know that I've listened to the Lorem, but they're Pollen, and then there was like, I think a Buddha playlist. Yeah, that was like super chill. Buddha, yeah. So yeah, I'm a playlist fan myself. What are your goals in the music industry? So this is kind of where you guys are at now. Where are we going? Like, where are the dreams at? What's the goal in the music industry? Mariam, we'll stick with you. What's your goal?
Sure. So obviously, like, I do want to like work in the music industry. Like, I want to figure out like I want to work more in like live events and see how that goes. But down the line, I do want to open up like a performing arts academy. That's like always been like a dream of mine. Like where I always say where people from the age of 2 to 102 can learn the beauty of the arts. So that's everything from like instruments, like vocals, theater. That's like a little bit more down the line, but I definitely want to build a skill set and again like network with people, like build relationships to kind of then have like investors that I can bring into the business. So I don't know, it's just like a big thing that I've always looked forward to. So I want to learn more about the industry by being in it, then create something of my own later on. But that's kind of like where I went with the music.
Nice. And it's a nice intersection of business and then on the creative side of things as well. I love it. John, what about you? What are the goals?
Man, so I definitely, you know, of course, want to become an accomplished singer, songwriter, performer. Not only have, you know, I want to write for other artists, you know, be like, so behind the scenes type stuff. Love to produce. I really want to become an engineer, so I want to like produce other people. Like I would love to like, so I'd be having ideas that I'd be like, they could carry this out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I definitely want to become an accomplished, you know, engineer / producer as well. You know, wouldn't hurt to have some awards, you know what I'm saying? Some plats. I would also love to, I've been thinking like, if I know I definitely want to do like a radio show. I know I'd love to have a radio show. I'm one of the, I hear I talking about playlists. I'm like, I saw a tweet the other day, man, like ragging on me. I'm the type of person, I'm not a playlist guy. I'll listen to everything. I'll listen to everything and I'll just add it to my library. And then I would just set my library on shuffle. So,
really? You know, all the vibes, like all random like, hitting you from all kind of
to country, like that to too. Jazz. Yeah.
I have a mix of everything playlist.
You know what I'm saying? The only playlist that I've created is a playlist called Clean Playlist. And it's for when I'm with my mother. You know, it's all
your mom, the librarian, you play the clean playlist.
Play the clean, you know what I'm saying? You know, gotta show respect. But yeah, I would love to have a radio show. And then maybe a label.
You've got a lot of creative friends, right? Pulling all the right people, pulling the business side over here, right? Just keep the networking.
What's cool about that though is like already, you know, among, you know, my close friends, man, I have kids that are like, hey, I want to make a label. You know what I'm saying? Kids that already know, you know, that's what they're gonna do. So I might just leave it up to them. You know what I'm saying? Invest
be on there. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Connect those dots. I love it. Well, since we're talking so much about playlists and all the different kinds of music we listen to, who are some favorite musicians or favorite shows you're looking forward to with the return to live?
You want me to go first or Mariam?
Yeah, go for it.
Bet. Man, some of my favorite, should I say musicians or artists?
Either. Yeah. Okay. Music. Yeah.
Cool. Because, you know, my two favorite guitarists are Jimi Hendrix and John Mayer. Favorite artists, I'd say are Future, Young Thug, Kanye, Adele. Yeah, all over the place.
All right. Yeah, that is kind of all over the place.
Frank Ocean, Bernard Fayez. Okay, I'll leave it to you, man. Oh, wait, and shows.
Yeah, shows.
Definitely Astroworld. When Jambalaya comes back, I think that's gonna be fun. ACL. Did they? I don't think they have that.
No, I don't think they've announced yet.
Yeah, ACL.
So you're a festival guy.
Oh yeah. That's really all I can think of. What are some other?
Kind of like a playlist. I mean, that's like a playlist live, right? I'm going to a festival.
You see what I'm saying? All those, you know what I'm saying? All those artists, yeah.
All the different lineups. Mariam, what about you? Favorite artists, musicians, shows you're looking forward to?
So I love Russ. He's one of my favorite artists. I really like Jon Bellion. I think he is really, really good. If you don't know Jon Bellion, definitely check out his music. He's amazing. AJR, I love Diplo. Some old school stuff. I love Ella Fitzgerald, like Louis Armstrong. Like I love jazz. One of the artists like from my childhood that I loved a lot, like Christina Aguilera, Carrie Underwood, like I always go back to them. But yeah, those are, I know they're not really like that big of artists, a few of them that I mentioned. Well, they are, but I don't know. It's not your usual cup of tea. I am like a mix of
Yeah,
everything.
you guys
but
are pretty
like,
eclectic in your tastes. Yeah, makes it interesting, right?
definitely.
So what advice would you give now that you're a little seasoned, right, in your early 20s, the two of you? What advice would you give to a young person, younger than yourself, that was passionate about music and considering a career in the industry? What do you feel like you would be your words of wisdom or a piece of advice that you would give to someone coming up in this space as well? John, young performer.
Man, there's so I would sit them down and have a long discussion with them about
Make sure they're really sure about it, right?
But if there's one thing that I want to say for someone who's really passionate about music, I would just say one of my really close producer friends, he told me a really interesting thing. He was like, I'm gonna promote that the definition of art. I'm gonna change the definition of art. Art should be the study of oneself. And I thought about that really hard, and I'm like, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So I would say for someone that is very passionate about music, I would say study yourself, get to know who you are, get to know what it is, you know what I'm saying, that really makes you do what you do. Because those whys, like WHY, like that question why for everything is very important. If you don't know why you are writing songs, if you don't know why you're even, doing music, if you don't understand what your goal is, your final ultimate purpose, like your reasoning for doing music, you know what I'm saying, what you're trying to do with your music, what it is you're trying to promote. If you don't know those questions, then it's going to be real easy for you not only to get distracted, but to get lost, because there's a lot of people getting lost in LA, a lot of people getting lost in, art, you know what I'm saying, whether it be between the parties or the drugs or whatever the case may be. So I would say just really focus on why you want to do this. And why it is you are. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Mariam, what would be your advice to someone considering a career in the music business?
To be honest, it's a scary world out there, but if you're really passionate about it, just go for it. And the reason I say that is because like a lot of times music is not the place that pays well, and some people, like if they're just after the pay, they're not going to be satisfied. You need to be passionate about music in order to be able to really like fully immerse in it and be happy with your day to day, and maybe not always make the most money, but at least be happy. For me, I feel like happiness is a big thing. If you're not happy with your life and what you're doing, your work, it's a big part of your life, you're just not going to be happy in general. So I would just say if you're passionate about it, go for it, meet new people, network. But yeah, just go for it.
I love it.
Scary, but definitely have mentors if you can. I know I had a few, and it's definitely helpful.
It definitely is helpful to have mentors. I would agree. And I would say along those lines is make your passion your profession, right? You can do it, and then you don't even feel like you're working. If you are pursuing your passion as your profession, then you can't help but be happy along the way. Yeah. So I appreciate both of you guys taking the time to talk to me, and so good to reconnect and see you both again. For someone like me that works in this space of empowering young people, it's really meaningful. Truly, it means a lot for me to be able to connect with you and follow your journeys and hear your stories along the way. And it's so fun for me to be able to see it happening for you. So I know we'll stay connected, and I'll get to see you reach your goals. That's what I can't wait. And then you have to put me on the VIP list at whatever shows that you're working or performing at, and that's it. That's it. That's all I ask.
You getting a fat chain and a fat stack.
Oh, on top of it? Excellent. I love it. Thank you both again. It's always so great to connect with you, and I love following your journeys. Thank you to Primary Wave for having us and allowing us to share the magic of Music Forward. And I'll let you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Naz, for this opportunity.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Music Forward, Naz, Primary Wave. Thank you all so much for inviting us here today. This was definitely a fun experience. I always love talking to people about like my experiences and hearing other people's as well. So it was great to hear about your story, John. But definitely, thank you. But yeah, definitely thank you so much for this opportunity. I had a great time.
It's always fun talking music, right? And that's why making your passion your profession, get to talk music all day long and speak that language that Mariam was talking about earlier, right? We're all talking the same language. Thank you.
We want to give a huge thank you to Naz, Mariam, and John Aqua for that insightful conversation. Please be sure to check out Music Forward, Mariam, and John Aqua to find ways to support. As a reminder, be sure to follow along on our social media at Primary Wave to be in the know for future sessions. We appreciate you tuning in, and we will see you next time.